So most people use Supabase Cloud, but today I'll show you how to host Supabase on your own VPS, so both your micro apps, your apps, and your backend is centralized in a common place that you control. Let's get into it and see how it's done. First of all, let's just look at what we got here. We need a domain, so that would be a domain to host something on. We need a host provider, a VPS. We're going to use Hetzner here. And then we have hosted stuff on our VPS, which would be Supabase and some kind of web app. Awesome. That is now what we're going to do. Let's jump into Hetzner. I've already created a project here, and let's go ahead and create a server. We're going to click add server, cost optimized, because we're going to go for the cheapest option we can find. Pick a place where it is. We're going to pick this one, Ubuntu, yes, and we don't add an SSH key here. We're just going to go all the way down to names here. We're going to say Supabase test, and we can probably use spaces. There we go. We're going to add a firewall in just a second. While this is cooking, we can go over to firewall. We can create a firewall, and this is to protect your server. And we're going to add, no, not 53, we're going to add 80, and we're going to add 443. You can see what they're doing here. 22 is for SSH access, 80 is for HTTP, 443 is for HTTPS. And we're also going to add this specific port here, 5432, which is Postgres SQL. Once your Supabase is up and running, I will highly suggest that you remove this port again, because that shouldn't be open in production. Anyways, awesome. Our server here is now up and running. We're going to go to firewalls, apply a firewall, and set that firewall in there. And it's going to append. There we go. We are now going to pull up our, I'm going to minimize that one. That is up and running. We now go into our terminal, and the password for the server will be sent to your email if you didn't add an SSH key. But now we're going to log into our new VPS. So we're going to go to the terminal, write SSH, then we're going to write root, add our IP address, and we're going to click yes. Now we're going to find the password, which is in our email. We're going to paste that in. Then we're required to change it. So we're going to have to paste in the current password, new password, and I'm going to retype it here. And there we go. We now are logged in to our server, Supabase test. We're going to go to Coolify. We're going to go to self-hosted, because in my opinion, this is the easiest way to do all this. Copy this command, paste that in, and install Coolify. This is going to take a minute or so. While that is installing, we can copy our IP address here for our server. We can go to our DNS provider. I'm using Cloudflare. Pick a domain. So you would have to have a domain for setting this up. Go to the DNS records, click add record. We're going to add an A record, add, paste in our IP address, proxy off, click save. And then we're going to add one more, which will be the star, and then the IP. And this is wildcard A record. So this just means that everything before a dot, so it would be something.deploy.cc, everything will be pushed over to our new VPS. That is now set up, meaning that we can get publicly hosted domains for our services. And we're going to need that. There we go. Coolify is now installed, and you'll get a public IP. Maybe it won't. There we go. Yes, up here. You can access Coolify through this. And I can see that I forgot to add something to the firewall, because we need to add port 8000 to our firewall, else we won't be able to log in. So we're going to do that really quickly here. 8000, save changes, and that is now applied. Let's go here, 8000, and I'll just quickly set this up. This will be your root user. There we go. We can say create account, and don't save anything here, and I'm gonna say skip setup. Great. Except maybe next time. Then we're gonna go to settings. We're gonna set our URL for this Coolify instance. And since we did a wildcard, we can now go https, then go coolify.deploy.cc. Coolify, there we go. Acknowledge and disable. Then we're gonna click save. And in a moment, this URL will now be live. But before we do that, we are going to go to servers, go to localhost, and we're going to set up our wildcard domain here, like so. And we're going to click save and save. Now we should be able to go to coolify.deploy.cc and log in. We're going to do that. See if that works. Didn't. One sec. And there we go. No, I don't want to save, accept, and maybe next time. Gradios. We now have the foundations in place. We can now go to projects, add a project. We're going to get a Supabase test. Click on continue, add a resource. Now we're going to search for Supabase. And there we have it. Click on Supabase. Now, before we install this, we need to go down here where it says Supabase Kong, which is the studio. We're going to change this URL. You can see that it's already set deploy.cc because we added it as a wildcard. And I'm just going to go sb.deploy.cc, click save. I'm going to close that, and then we're going to click on deploy. This is going to take 4 or 5 minutes-ish. It is now installed, and we are, let me just see if everything is up and running. And everything seems to be up and running now. Great. We're going to click on links here just to check that everything is okay, and go to the URL. We're going to add a username, which you find here under admin user. Copy, paste, and then the password is just beneath it. Copy and paste. Sign in. And everything looks to be working. Great. Now, you actually have a self-hosted Supabase ready for use. And yeah, more or less, that's it for this video. But I'm actually going to show you one thing more. Because let's just see if we can create a quick micro app to write some things into a table. But we don't have any tables yet. So we are gonna go and create a repository on GitHub. I've already gone ahead and done that, called YouTube Video Supabase on VPS. And this is an empty repository. I've created this here. I've then added a .env.example file, which is, let me just pull that up, this file right here. So we are gonna put in our Supabase URL, and we're gonna find that in environment variables. It is more or less just this URL up here, so we can paste that in. Just remove, whoops, too much removed. Remove this. Supabase SQL endpoint. That is a bit more tricky, but let's go here. Click on developer views. We can see all the dirty secrets. First, I'm gonna copy over the N key. That is up here. Paste that in. And then our SQL endpoint. That is gonna be, if we go to Supabase and click on connection, we can then copy this string here. We can construct it. So we paste that in, and then we will go to Coolify, go to General. Under Postgres SQL, we're going to expose the password here for Postgres, and that should be this one here, your password. And then we need to switch out the IP address over from Hetzner. That is the IP. We're going to paste that in. The reason why I'm doing this is because now I can ask, I'm just going to save this and close it. I can now ask GPT Codex to code something for me. And I've just opened Codex, or opened a terminal inside the window. Yes, please. Then we're going to go for approvals and full access. So now I opened up GPT Codex, or Codex CLI, inside that repository folder. We're just going to switch our models. I can see I haven't updated yet. So we're going to just do medium. Yeah, I need to update my CLI on this one to get 5.3. But I'm now going to create a prompt asking it for creating a simple app where I can log in and then add records to a table. So just a testing app. 1 second. So I've just created this small prompt here, create a small test app. We're going to run that. And of course, what I did before showed you was that I have created a .env.example. You shouldn't put secrets in the example file. It should be in the .env file. So the example file is for knowing what secrets to actually use when deploying it. I'm just fixing that mistake right away. And I've told it to look into that env file. And while this is building, we can now connect Coolify, which is over here, to our GitHub account. So I'm just gonna go to sources. Then we're gonna click add. We're gonna click delete this connection, and that's just because I know what to delete after running all the tests. And we're gonna click continue. Then it's quite important here that under the webhook endpoint, you go ahead and select your Coolify instance here, the correct URL, and register this app with your GitHub account. So I'm gonna register, gonna click next, and install repositories on GitHub. And apparently there was some mistake. And I just had to reload. I don't know why. I'm just gonna select my single one here, which is YouTube, this one. Gonna install. You should just install it for all repositories. Just gonna install it for that single one. And that is now up and running, meaning that under our projects, we should be able to see that connection. So if we click on resources and new, and we select private repository, we now have this connection to GitHub. And in here, we can now select the repository. The issue is that we don't have any code in our repository. So we're just gonna let GPT Codex here finish the project. Okay, GPT is now done coding. It removed my env file, then created a new one. Then it's gonna ask me to fill out that env file. So I copied the example over to env. I filled that out with all the variables that I needed. Then I asked it to run the migration. Env file created, please run the migration for me. But it ran into a problem because there's one more thing we need to open. Inside of Coolify, go down to your Supabase installation and then to Supabase DB service, click on settings. We need to make the port public from within Supabase as well. So we're going to do 5432, click save, and then make public. So this is just going to update for a second. Then we can go back to GPT. It says port should now be public. Please run migration for me. Now it says migration ran successfully. Let's go over to Supabase and see we now have a table called notes. Awesome. First thing I'm going to do is go to authentication. I'm going to add a user, create a new user, and auto confirm. And we're going to create our user here because we haven't set up any emails into the system. So this is the only way we can actually get a user to work. But the code should now be ready. We got all this code here. We now need to push that into a GitHub. So from GitHub desktop here, we're gonna, I understand, just create a summary here for me. And then I'm gonna commit all the files, and it should have a git ignore in here, meaning that it won't commit our .env file. should commit our example file. Yeah, that's right here, but it's omitting the env file because it is out there. So commit, push to branch. Let's go to GitHub and just update our repository here. We now have all the files in there. Let's deploy that on our server. So new, again, like we did before, private repository, delete this connection and go. And let me just look at the files because we have a Docker file. Let's see if it is installed via Docker. We'll select Docker file. So Docker file, continue. Now we need to add the environment variable so it can connect. We're gonna update, first we're gonna update web app. The domain here, we're gonna set that to web app. Gonna go to environment variables. We are gonna add, no, we're gonna switch to developer view first. Come on, developer view. There we go. Then we're gonna open up our environment variables here. Paste those in. Save environment, should clean it up nicely. There we go. And then we're gonna click deploy. The deployment is now done. We had a failure first. I just took the deployment error, put it into ChatGPT or GPT Codex. I said fix this and it fixed it. And then we added it again. Let's see if we can sign in. That we can. Okay, and test something here. Add node. We now have a node. Then something else. We add that node. Let's go to Supabase, and we're now adding nodes, and everything is under RLS policies, meaning row level security. So not getting hacked unless you're logged in as me. Awesome, that was under 20 minutes installing Supabase on our own VPS, getting everything up and running with a domain, creating a small web app, getting that up and connecting it. So one thing I actually forgot, when you are done, remember to, let me just hop back here, in Coolify under your Supabase project here, because you can ask GPT Codex or Cloud Code, whatever you want, to update your Supabase tables and schema and all that. But once you are done, you should disable this again. I did a restart of something, so it turned that off automatically. But just go ahead and ensure that this is turned off and go into your Hetzner firewall and remove that incoming port here. There we go. So it isn't open. It's a security risk, and you should remember to remove the security risk when you aren't using it. That's it for this video. If you want to learn more about how to develop micro apps and get them online, join our school community. Link down in the description. See you in the next video.